One.
What's up, guys? Florida Shooter 92 here. Got Brad chiming in again. We're shooting another video today. We already made a couple. We made a we made a Glock video, and then we made a quick little blooper behind the scene video, just a quick one of us just being stupid. But now we're gonna get a little bit more serious again. Well, as serious as we can get, and we're gonna talk about the KelTec P11 here. Not a bad little gun. It's a 9mm. It's a double stack. Holds 10 in one. Pretty cool little gun. 14 ounces unloaded. 5.6 inch barrel. 5.6 inches long with a 3.1 inch barrel. 4.3 inches tall. It is 1 inch wide. It's also got this ridiculously long trigger pull, which is 9 pounds, alright? Now, I'm just going to clear that. No magazine in it. I'm going to show you here where this trigger's at. And I'm going to start squeezing. There it is. And now listen for the reset. There it was. Long trigger pull. Really long trigger pull. That's one of the few beefs that I got with this gun. I really don't have many. I shot great with the thing. I actually did better grouping than I do with a lot of different guns. When I took it out, it was to shoot it the first time. I took it out with the Glock 43, and the Glock 43 had a failure to eject one of the round shell casings, and this did not have a single hiccup. So I'm not going to say that KelTec is a better company than Glock, because obviously that's just asinine. But I do like KelTec. I think that they get a bad rap. I think they actually have some pretty good pistols out there. But I guess it just really does come down to what you like, and you know, it's one of those things, don't knock it till you try it. Just because you heard about a buddy who has a friend who has a cousin who had an uncle who had a KelTec that was horrible, doesn't mean they're all horrible. I've owned 2 KelTecs now, and both of them were pretty good.
It just means the uncle's pretty horrible.
Maybe just the uncle's pretty horrible. Maybe. One of the other issues that I have with it is it doesn't have any kind of rail. So if you want to put a laser, flashlight, anything like that, it's actually going to have to come up and go on the side, or come underneath and like mount, or like Brad says, 3M tape
works like a charm.
3M tape.
Gotta rig it till it works.
Exactly. The breakdown for this is a little bit different than some pistols. I'll go over that real quick with you. First, you're gonna rack it back, lock that slide, and then it's got this little bar right here that you just pull out. You pull that little guy out, and then you release the slide, and it just comes right off. Really not hard at all to break down. And it breaks down just like any other pistol on the inside. And when you're putting it back together, one of the things that I noticed is if you don't apply just a little bit of pressure on top of your barrel to push it down just a little bit, when you're going to slide it back and lock it, you won't be able to get that bar in just right. Let's see if I can do it. First try here. Boom.
First try?
First try. So it's really not hard to break down. Pretty simple. Stippling isn't bad. It's got a good grip, and it works really well, especially because for being 14 ounces, you would assume that it's going to be really snappy, but it's really not. It's not that snappy. It's
you said it was less snappy than the Glock 43,
It
right?
was, yeah, it was. It was less snappy than my Glock. My Glock, it took a long time for me to be able to get a good grouping. This one I was able to shoot with pretty well. The sights are fixed. I'm sure there is a way to change them out, but I don't know exactly how. Maybe there's a YouTube video I could look at for that. But the sights are good. They're actually indented and painted so that your regular wear and tear on the gun, you're not just going to rub the paint right off. So that's definitely a plus. Because my last KelTec, I had the PF9, and the sights just rubbed away. But for $250, because that's about what these go for, they are a great gun.
He even called me last week, not even last week, just a few days ago, trying to get me to buy a gun.
Yep.
Buy this gun.
Yep, I was like, hey Brad, man, I know you need a new gun. I got one for sale for you.
But I'm not a 9mm guy.
Yeah, he's really not. But I am gonna let him talk. I'm gonna let him I shouldn't, but I'm going to.
Definitely shouldn't.
And I'm also going to hand this gun over to him. Shouldn't, but I'm going to. And Matic is totally unloaded. I wouldn't trust him. I barely trust him with a butter knife. I'm joking. Brad's a good guy. He knows what he's doing.
Just don't give me a steak knife.
Well, that's because you throw it down on the grill.
Hey, man. Yeah.
So I'm going to hand it over to him. Empty mag, nothing in the chamber, and I'm going to let this guy chit-chat about it.
Still going to clear it out because I'm a good guy. But one of the things with this gun is how small it is. The reason I don't carry a 9mm myself is because I have really big hands. I'm a really big guy. I like nice weight. This does have a nice weight to it. Don't let me say this doesn't. I actually like the weight on this better than the Glock 43 just because of the distribution of the weight.
Yeah.
The Glock is a little bit heavier, right?
Yeah, it's a little bit
heavier, but I actually do like the distribution on this better. That coming from a Glock guy. I love Glock. But the pistol has the on the mag the pinky grip, and for somebody my size, I really had to like squeeze my fingers in there before I'm ready to pull. And also the mag release right there. Oh, is it not right there? It is. It is right there.
It's in a weird spot.
But the thing with me is being as big as I am, my middle finger almost. I know it won't, but it almost feels like I could accidentally hit the mag release with my middle finger when I'm squeezing down on the gun. Other than that, I don't have a problem, and this is a prime example of people have different tastes when it comes to weapons in general. Is Brett, let me just clear it one more time just to make sure, even though I'm pretty sure it didn't change since the last time I cleared it, is he doesn't like that long,
can't stand it,
9-pound trigger pull. But me, I love it. I love it because it's the only safety on the gun, and it's one of those things in the back of your mind where you know if you're going to fire the weapon, you mean to discharge the weapon.
Well, that is it. It doesn't have any safety, so that long trigger pull is the safety. It's meant to if you're carrying it or you're stashing it away or whatever it is that you're doing, if the trigger gets snagged on something, it's not just boom, just gonna fire. You're gonna have to apply some real pressure, 9 pounds of pressure, to make that trigger do what it's supposed to do.
And like he said, you know, the sights are fixed, but honestly, I like the sights.
Yeah, sights aren't bad on it, no.
You know, I'm not a fan of the shorter barrel, but again, that's just personal preference. That's just me nitpicking. You know, the spot where the mag release is, nitpicking, and, you know, me actually trying to find something wrong with the weapon. I didn't personally fire this, but like he said, no failures to ejects, no jam-ups, no nothing, right?
No.
And you shot, what, over 100 rounds?
No, I shot like 500 rounds, too.
Yeah, so a few hundred rounds out of it. No problems. You know, I've never been the biggest fan of KelTec, but I've never been a doubter, I guess you would say. But you know, overall, this gun for the price, $250, I would say it's a great gun to purchase.
Yeah, absolutely.
I just don't want to purchase a new weapon, and not a big fan of 9mm. You know, and it's definitely not an ego thing. It's not, you know, I need a 44 Magnum from frickin' Clint Eastwood or some shit. You know, it's just, exactly. It's just a personal preference of mine. You know, I mean, I would have put it this way: I would have no problem giving this to a girlfriend if I was to ever to have one, and I would know that she's safe. And I wouldn't buy a weapon for anybody as a gift or anything like that without trusting that it's going to do what it's supposed to do.
Yeah.
And so with this, I definitely would have no problem buying this for somebody. You know, 500 rounds, nothing wrong with it. Like he said, good grouping. You know, the guy, you know, he doesn't do a lot of things right, but he knows how to shoot a weapon. So I'll give him that. But yeah, that's all I have on the gun.
I can shoot a gun better than I can use a knife. See?
Obviously.
All right, guys, so just like always, if you have anything you want to chime in, if you got any beefs, you got anything you want to say about the gun, just go ahead, comment, like, subscribe, all that good stuff.
If you want to tell me how ugly I am, go for it.
I would even encourage that just to bring his ego down a little bit.
I'm a keyboard warrior. You don't want to mess with it.
All right, guys. Take it easy. Until next time, we are out of here.